Some visuals in this insert are not suitable for sensitive viewers.
How did this all start?
This is the informant who provided secret insider evidence that led to the undoing of the Zeesavang rhino poaching syndicate. His testimony subsequently triggered an investigation into how legally traded wildlife products from South Africa are being used illegally in Southeast Asia.
I was introduced to them by a man with a name called KK. He used to be the airport manager for Thai Air. He introduced me to them. I actually helped them with the lion bones, and because they couldn't speak English properly and they couldn't negotiate with the farmers.
But records don't show that any lion bones were exported from South Africa to Southeast Asia between 1975 and 2009. And then with the arrest of rhino poaching syndicate members, documentary evidence came to light proving that legally traded lion bones and carcasses were being exported to the same organization in Laos that was illegally trading in rhino products. Wildlife crime journalist Karl Aman is well known for following the trafficking of wildlife in Southeast Asia for over 30 years. He quizzed the South African Predator Breeders Association on the number of lion carcasses being exported.
I can't tell you. I have no information about that. Okay. We have no audit on the numbers of predators in our ownership. That's a function of government. We are not in conservation business primarily. We are in farming with animals, lions primarily, like cattle, like sheep. It's a commercial item.
Compared to the previous year, official statistics of lion product exports for 2012 revealed a 200% increase, and remarkably, all of these had been permitted by CITES, the International Wildlife Trade Regulating Body. Karl traveled halfway across the planet to the Lao-China border town of Botan in his pursuit of answers on the illicit tiger trade and to find out what lion bones were actually being used for in the market. Here, the trading of endangered species is done quite openly, and as soon as it became known that Karl was interested, he was offered the paws and the skin of an adult tiger, a rarity in the region, and apparently the last known tiger for sale.
Yes, pretty.
Karl continued his inquiry across the Lao border into northern Thailand and ended up in a so-called tiger sanctuary in Chiang Mai.
Well, this all looks pretty idyllic, these two guys playing in the water. The fact is they have about 42 tigers here at the moment. When I questioned them, they said they breed about 40. The value seems to be really in the babies, where you pay more to play with the babies than with the teenagers or adults. So they want to make sure there's an adequate supply of babies, so there's very commercial breeding going on. And the question then arises, what happens with all the adult tigers? They said they hand them to zoos, but that's an unlikely scenario in this part of the world. They're probably sold to places where then control gets totally lost and they're turned into traditional Chinese medicine products.
Traditional Chinese medicine, or TCM, is as old as the Chinese culture, and now increased disposable incomes in Asia has made these remedies affordable to many more people than before. Tiger balm is freely available and touted as a cure-all. And then there's tiger whiskey,
somebody they use for the energy,
claws for luck, tiger teeth with protective powers, and a tiger penis for virility. Even tiger excrement has its uses.
Smell very terrible.
And then there are many imitations.
Definitely bone worked into supposedly ivory. And the same happens with what are meant to be tiger teeth, which can be very valuable. But obviously the fact that they are valuable means somebody will fake them and create imitations, and nowadays there's more imitations for sale than real bones.
Just as with rhino horn, the nouveau riche use big cat bones as the status symbol. The floating bones from the animals' necks are used as the centerpiece for bespoke jewelry items. But the price and scarcity of tiger bones has resulted in lion bones being used as a substitute in this lucrative market. Tiger parts are also eaten as delicacies in parts of Asia and served up at private banquets prepared by specialists. This one will serve up a tiger meat meal for high-ranking Vietnamese officials at $56,000 for the 200-kilogram tiger needed to prepare the feast. The leftovers are also used to create another TCM product, tiger glue or tiger cake. But once the bones have been reduced, there's no telling what the concoction contains.
100 gram sell at the market, ranging from 14 and to 22, 23 million.
It makes sense for illicit traders to supplement tiger bones with cheaper alternatives, such as lion bones. And so samples were sent to a genetics laboratory to put this theory to the test.
Well, the majority of the samples turned out to be pig, 6 out of 16. 5 turned out to be dog, and then 5 didn't work, which is not too surprising since they're so processed. However, what we were relieved about is that we didn't find tiger, we didn't find lion, or none of the other big cats.
These results mimicked tests that had also been conducted on rhino horn samples, which is not surprising when it is considered that the real deal is just too expensive for average income earners. And then there's the legal loopholes. These have enabled private breeders that have non-zoo registered tigers to trade them as live animals.
So it's clearly commercial. There's a male and female in here. Clearly the cubs have been pulled, so she comes in heat again, and they will mate again. So I have very little doubt that these tigers are being bred for commercial purposes by a private individual who has a way to make a living.
But private breeders are not the only ones exploiting loopholes in the law. Bangkok is regarded as the hub for illegal wildlife trafficking in the region. And here, even zoos remove cubs from their mothers to speed up the female's breeding cycle. And pigs are then used as surrogate mothers. It is, however, unclear whether this accelerated breeding strategy can meet the huge demand for tiger products in Southeast Asia. Karl believes there is a supplementary source. Documents presented during the Lemtong Thai pseudo-rhino hunting case in South Africa revealed a parallel trade in lion bones and carcasses. Permits showed Lao-based syndicate Zai Savang Trading was the importer of lion bones and carcasses. CEO Vijay Keosavang's name appears prominently on the airway bills and CITES export permits and reveal orders of 300 lions. Karl inquired of the South African Predator Breeders Association whether they had knowledge that lion bones and carcasses exported from South Africa were supplementing the illegal tiger trade in Southeast Asia.
Let me start by saying that the trade in lion bones in South Africa is a legal business.
But you don't sell guns freely because you know guns can kill people. If you sell lion's bone freely because it enriches the crook who breaks further laws down the line, you're part of the chain. You have a certain role in the culpability of what goes on further down the line. You can't say it stops here. I've given you the gun. If you kill somebody now, that's your problem.
We are not really concerned about what happens with the lion bones once they are exported. As long as we do that legally, we are satisfied.
It is widely known that cubs at petting parks generally form part of the supply chain, providing lions to the so-called canned hunting industry. Photo opportunities at safari parks form part of the bigger revenue stream, which is hidden from public view. The value of producing a liger for an international trophy hunt, for example, would certainly be worth several 100,000 rands. There is understandably growing public sentiment against lion hunting, but the long-term consequences of an outright ban are fairly complex. Some argue that such a ban might very well have the same result as the rhino trade ban and therefore fuel a poaching war targeting wild lions. The role of lion products in the illegal tiger trade market is not fully understood yet, but it seems undeniable that this is stimulating the export of lion bones to Southeast Asia. Current lion trading practices may well be legal, but there are serious ethical issues that need to be addressed urgently. How long big cats can sustain the onslaught against them rests largely in the development of pragmatic solutions to conserve this rapidly depleting keystone species.